It was a busy Saturday evening at one of the city's most exclusive restaurants. I was there that night, sitting at a corner table, enjoying my quiet meal while observing the usual hustle and bustle around me. The sound of clinking plates and muffled conversations filled the air, but a sharp voice suddenly caught my attention. A woman walked in, dressed in a shimmering designer gown that screamed luxury. Her diamond earrings sparkled under the soft lighting, and her stiletto heels clicked sharply against the marble floor. Everyone turned to look at her, not because of her elegance, but because of the air of superiority she carried. Her name was Priya, and she was no stranger to this restaurant. Priya had a reputation for being difficult. That night, she sat at a prime table near the window and immediately began inspecting everything with a critical eye. The cutlery, the floral arrangements, even the way the menu was presented. It all seemed to annoy her. A young waiter approached her table, wearing the usual uniform of crisp white shirt and black apron. He looked nervous, but had a kind, genuine demeanor. His name tag read Ravi. "Good evening, ma'am. May I take your order?" he asked politely, handing her the menu. Priya barely looked up. Instead, she eyed him disdainfully. "Do you even know the specials? Or are you just here to waste my time?" Ravi's face flushed slightly, but he maintained his composure. "Of course, ma'am. Today's specials include the truffle risotto and the chef's signature grilled salmon." She waved a dismissive hand. "Fine, just bring me the salmon, and make sure it's perfect. I don't have the patience for mistakes tonight." "Yes, ma'am," Ravi said, nodding politely before walking away. As the evening progressed, Priya's behavior only worsened. She complained about the food being too salty, the wine being too warm, and even the lighting being too dim. But most of all, she directed her frustration toward Ravi. "This service is ridiculous," she exclaimed loudly, drawing the attention of nearby diners. "I can't believe they let people like you work here. Do you even know what fine dining means?" Ravi remained calm, though it was clear her words stung. "I apologize, ma'am. I'll do my best to improve your experience." By now, I could see other diners whispering among themselves. Some looked at Priya with disapproval, while others seemed to pity Ravi for enduring her insults. When her meal was nearly done, Priya snapped her fingers to call Ravi over. "Get me the manager," she demanded. "I want to file a complaint. This has been the most unpleasant dining experience of my life." Ravi nodded. "Of course, ma'am. One moment, please." He left the room briefly and returned with a man in a suit. The manager greeted Priya, but instead of addressing her complaint, he turned to Ravi with a smile. "Good evening, Mr. Malhotra," the manager said. Priya blinked, confused. "What did you just call him?" "Mr. Ravi Malhotra," the manager repeated. "He's the owner of this restaurant." For a moment, there was complete silence. Priya's face turned pale as she stared at Ravi in disbelief. You're the owner?" she stammered. Ravi nodded, a calm smile on his face. "Yes, I am. My parents started this restaurant years ago with nothing but a dream and a lot of hard work. I grew up helping them here, and now I run the place. Sometimes, I like to work as a waiter to stay connected with my team and our guests." Priya's mouth opened, but no words came out. The arrogance that had defined her all evening vanished in an instant, replaced by embarrassment. I didn't know," she muttered, lowering her gaze. "I'm so sorry for how I treated you." Ravi's expression softened. "It's okay, ma'am. But this experience is a reminder for all of us. Kindness and respect don't depend on someone's job title or background. Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity." Priya stood up, her head lowered in shame. "Thank you for the lesson," she said quietly before walking out of the restaurant. That night, as the restaurant buzzed back to life, Ravi returned to his work, serving the remaining guests with the same grace and calmness. I sat there, reflecting on what I had just witnessed. It's easy to judge others based on appearances or positions, but people like Ravi remind us that true strength lies in humility, and real character is revealed in how we treat others, especially those we think are beneath us. As I left the restaurant, I couldn't help but feel that everyone, including myself, had learned something valuable that evening. Sometimes it takes a moment like this to realize that respect isn't earned by wealth or power. It's given through the simple act of kindness.